Hello and welcome to Channels Book Club. My name is Olakunle Kasumo and it's great to be on this show once again. Our guest today is one of those that I really admire. There are some authors who have done incredible work trying to document the story of Nigeria, our culture. Nigeria has an incredibly diverse culture. There are so many ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. Imagine if we're able to capture the stories of all the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria, their food, language, fashion, everything, music, just incredible. We have so much, but we have not even started yet. We are still grappling with power supply and roads and all those. So Nigeria, wake up so much. The world can find its way to this country if only we get our acts together. Well, this gentleman on your screen who is our guest today is one of those that I really admire because there are a group of people in this country who have done incredible work just documenting the stories of the various ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. Well, let's get to meet with him and then enjoy the conversation exploring his book and his work.
Phillips Akwari is a documentary photographer and a visual storyteller. A native of Agboka Udanta in Amogudu, Abriba, Abia State. Akwari holds BSc and MSc degrees in geography from the universities of Nigeria, Nsukka, and Ibadan, respectively. He also has a diploma in photography and videography from the Craft Film School in New Delhi, India. His photo exhibition of Abriba's rich heritage has been displayed in several major cities within Nigeria, including Lagos, Abuja, and Enugu. Phillips Akwari joins Channels Book Club to discuss his book, Abriba, a photographic narrative of a rich cultural heritage.
Phillips, nice to have you on Channels Book Club.
Thank you, Kunle.
Welcome. I love this.
Thank you.
Is this the way you do it in Abriba?
Yeah, this is the Abriba attire.
The traditional
the
attire.
Abriba full regalia. Okay. Each piece of this dressing has its own significance.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you share a bit of that? I mean, it looks really nice.
Okay, like this is the Okwago, or what we may call, may interpret as tiger hat. Okwago is for warriors.
Warriors?
Yeah.
So only warriors wear this? Or?
Yeah, so it's now for every boy child born in Abriba is trained to be a warrior.
Okay.
So every boy child born in Abriba, and not just in Abriba and its environs, is expected to have this. And it's the only hat that you will wear. So when you see an elder, you don't need to remove it. As a sign of respect.
Oh, okay.
Every other hat, you can remove it and show a sign of respect. This is the only one that you wear. Once you see an elder, you still continue to wear it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, yes.
And this is pom pom.
Pom pom.
Yeah, pom pom. Okay. So this is every Abriba child is born, like I said, is born a warrior. So it's like a form of military attire for the Abriba, male child. So the younger Abriba men tie in their waist.
Okay.
So just like the junior rank officers in the military. Then the older men who have retired from active community service hang theirs on the neck. So they don't tie in the waist.
The waist like that.
Yeah.
Incredible. I mean, this is what we came to discuss anyway. The richness of our history.
Yeah.
Which is what you have done in your book, which we are considering today. But I mean, before we dive into your book, Abriba is in current day Abia State, right?
Yes.
And when you say Abriba and its environs, so who are you talking about? The Arochukus?
Yeah. The Abriba environs consists of Ohafia, Arochuku,
Bende.
Item, Ibere, Mboro, Eda. So all these communities are related. Abam.
Did they all migrate together from maybe Cross River side or something?
Not really. Each of the communities have their own histories. And some of the communities come together. Some communities have common history. For instance, Abriba and Anochukwu have common history.
You migrated together?
Migrated together from Upper Cross River. Then Ohafia and Abam migrated together. And some other ones that I have mentioned also came from different places, then maybe later dispersed and settled differently. So that's exactly what happened.
It's amazing that if we keep going back in history,
yeah,
we'll keep seeing how similar we all are.
Yeah.
How we all came from somewhere and then dispersed,
yeah,
migrated,
yeah,
and all that. So there's more that unify us in our history than divide us.
Yeah, and that's exactly why we need to know more about ourselves. Because the more you know about yourselves, the more you know that your neighbor is not just your neighbor, but your brother too.
Well done. This book is a monster. I mean, it's a monster of a book. Well done. I mean, I'm so proud of what you've done here.
Thank you.
Abriba, a photographic narrative of a rich cultural heritage.
Yeah.
You did the photography.
Yes.
And your partner, Chinazo Anya, did the texts.
Yeah, exactly.
I would like you to tell us the story and what this book is about.
Okay. Originally, what inspired what I do is the fact that, for instance, this year is what in Abriba is called Afo Uku. That's a big year.
Afo Uku.
Afo Uku. Afo is year. Uku, big.
Big year. So what's happening? What makes it big?
So what makes it big is that there are a whole lot of celebrations, festivities that the Abriba people engage in. And in such years, the Abriba people spend a lot of money in different ways that may run up to maybe, let's say, up to 10 billion in a year like this. Because a whole lot of people would like to build and rebuild their houses. A whole lot of people will spend money in entertainment because there are a whole lot of festivities. Some are celebrating retirement ceremonies, some are celebrating Egwama, most of the things that we talk about in this book. However, what actually baffles me is that with this kind of huge amount of money spent, there is nowhere in any literature that you'll find out that such events happened.
So prior to your book, there was not much or no literature on the Abriba people?
No, there are texts. There are texts that some people have done. Abriba is supposed to have many texts, but...
Given its history.
Given its history and accomplishment as a community. So that doesn't really happen. There are very few texts written by some older scholars, and some were just barely done as recording of events, while very few, especially most recently, were properly done as texts and well researched. However, I still feel that most of these texts doesn't have enough pictures to showcase what happens. The story of Abriba is not just a story that you tell on texts alone, because the events that happens are extremely colorful. And a lot of them are carnivals.
So we need to see them.
We need to see them.
And experience them.
We need to document them in videos. We need to document them in photographs. And we need to do a whole lot that people could see. We need to shoot movies in Abriba and about Abriba, because there are a whole lot of stories of Abriba that never pass beyond the Abriba boundaries. So these are things that I felt that shouldn't happen. And I felt someone should do this. And I decided to start.
So that was what led to your book?
Yes.
How many photographs are here in this book?
Yeah,
the book itself is...
It's nearly 400.
Almost 400 pages.
Almost 400
pages. Filled with different, incredible pictures.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
We have more than 500 photos here. And we only have 500 photos, or a little, let's say we have more than 500 photos. We should have about 3,000 or 5,000 photos here, but because you cannot write a book,
you can't put everything in one book.
Yes.
In one book. Did you take most of these photos, or many, or?
I took 100% of the photos.
All the photos in this book?
All the photos
are your shots.
And that's why they are qualified to be here, because anyone
intellectual property issues,
yes, will not.
You know, you should be given a national award for this project. Look, because this is it. This is what we're talking about. This is what we need, because we don't know our history.
Yeah.
And when you don't know your history, you are disconnected from your identity.
That's true.
When you are disconnected from your identity, you suffer low self-esteem issues.
Exactly.
Nigeria has low self-esteem issues.
That's true. That's true.
So when we talk about the problems of Nigeria, we don't have roads, we don't have this, we don't have that, all these problems, I always link them up to philosophical issues.
Yeah.
If a people don't know who they are, how can they become great?
Yeah.
Eh?
For instance, the issue of identity is a very important one. I think of identity most because I see in text some people write, maybe when they're writing an invitation card, they write the family of so and so in Abriba or Hafia local government area of Abia State. I said to myself, no. Abriba doesn't need Hafia local government to have its identity. Abriba is Abriba. I should only tell you Abriba in Abia State. There is Abriba, there is Ohafia. The both being in the same local government doesn't mean that Abriba needs Ohafia to be identified.
Abriba has its own identity.
Ohafia has its own identity. So we should always present it as such. And so I was able to address the issue of identity through keeping this record, so that the first thing is, who are you? And you should be able to tell who you are. Now, if I call my names in Abriba, immediately I mention three names, my three names. Then somebody will tell me, oh, okay, you are from this compound.
In Abriba?
In Abriba. No matter whoever that hears my name will always say, oh, okay, you're either from this compound or this compound or that other compound. Because that name is identified with the compound. So every Abriba man carries that identity. And so when I call my full names, I answer Phillips as an English name. But once I come and identify my Abriba names, and everyone will identify, oh, okay, he's the son of so and so. And so that identity stands. And so every Abriba man should be able to carry those identities, because not just that, a whole lot of things about them are captured there. So it's not just about Abriba people, but this is actually what I'm thinking that's missing out in most African settings. It's not just about adopting English names. So that's not the direction I'm actually going. I'm actually going in the direction that we don't really know who we are back home. We don't really know
who we are.
Our real identity.
Lost identity.
So by the time we're able to bring up all those cultures, these are the general makeups that built us, that made the people we are.
Let's dig into a few of them,
right.
like some of those cultural festivities now. The first one in your book is Igba Nunu.
Igba Nunu.
Igba Nunu.
Igba Nunu.
Igba Nunu.
Nono.
Nono.
Yeah, Nono.
Nono.
Yeah.
Igba Nono.
Yeah.
You call it bird hunting.
Bird hunting.
Now, so you wrote here, this is the first cultural task that every Abriba male child is required to undertake. It usually takes place when the boy is about 6 years old. However, people who did not perform it at that age will be required to perform it anytime before they can join an age grade or get married.
Exactly.
So in the Abriba culture, if a boy doesn't do bird hunting, He ain't gonna get married, like the Americans will say.
There is no other thing. There is no other thing you are qualified to do in the society. Not just getting married.
Can you explain the as you describe it here? Yeah. You said the purpose of the ceremony is much more important than just bed hunting.
Yeah.
It is meant to teach the boy patience and endurance.
Okay.
The boy goes into a nearby bush armed with his bow and arrows and is accompanied by a mentor. Can you just very briefly, because of our time, how is that, describe that culture, that practice?
Okay. This is just, what happens there is, like most African cultures were formed because of slave trade that happened more than 500-year period. So people have to be ready for war. People have to be ready to fight. You give birth to a child and you train the child, the rudiments of fighting from the beginning. From the cradle, you're training them on how to fight and defend the community. Yeah. Defend himself, because he is part of that community. And that's exactly what happens in Israel today. Though in Israel, both boys and girls are trained to fight. So in Abriba, the boys were trained to fight. So that bird hunting is just, bird is just a harmless animal. So, I mean, for little kids of 6 years, what else can they kill other than birds? You have to kill bird first before you're able to kill a snake. You have to be able to kill a bird first before you're able to kill a wild animal, before you're able to kill aggressive enemies who are coming to attack you. So that rudiment of fighting is what the children, the boy children are inculcated.
So they send the boy into the bush or whatever, whatever. Just go and kill a bird, and it goes with a mentor, right?
Yes, there is a mentor who teaches the boy how to shoot the bow. So
arrow.
The arrow and bow. So it is a process. It is a process, because the first thing you have to learn how to do that. Then, if you do that for a bird, then you will be now taught on how to do it for bigger animals, and then for.
So when he kills the bird, he brings the bird back home.
Yeah.
And then he's sort of like.
Yeah, he's welcome as a hero.
As a hero.
Yeah, because yes, the first job well done. That's exactly what it means. Yeah. You have accomplished your first task. Because you cannot send a 6-year-old boy to go and kill a lion or a wild animal. So it's only when you're able to kill a lizard or kill a bird, then it's now saying that you can discharge more tasks.
Yeah, you are getting ready for the big.
So the way, if they're able to showcase themselves like someone who can handle such skills, or a good marksman or something, then the community and everyone will put eye on you. So this is a future.
Somebody might look at this thing and mock and say, okay, this is just, we're not developed, that's why we're getting boys who chase birds. But the significance, the relevance, maybe I don't know what to use, the application of such practices, I find them very powerful. The philosophy, the idea behind them, like you just said now, because every culture has something that helps them to determine if a child has come of age or not. Yeah. Even in modern day culture, we have our own, so I like the idea behind this law. It's really interesting. I also read here that when the bird is brought, they will now prepare the bird and share. Yeah. The boy will have the head.
The head.
And then the other boys who had graduated before him will chase him.
Yes.
If they catch him, he will go back and go and kill another bird.
Exactly.
If they don't catch him, then he has arrived.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I remember when I did mine. So.
Oh, you did yours, of course.
Of course. I did mine, and they chased me. So the first thing, all these are actually, now, when you grow up, you think a little about what happened and find out the significance of some of these things. Immediately they gave me the head of the bird because it's roasted already. The first thing I did was to put it in my mouth and run. Nobody will catch me. So I have to learn for myself how to take care of me. I have to learn for myself how to defend myself against different things that comes my way. So that's exactly what some of these things mean.
Phillips, I can't ask you what do we do because you're already doing something, you know. But how do we rescue this? Because in my own head, there is no development without history. But maybe that's something we will discuss another time because of our time.
Yeah. So in summary, like what I want to do, what I actually tend to do with my works is to inspire other photographers to come up with stories from their places. I have done mine from Abriba, and of course I'm still doing, and we'll do a little more for other places. But to do the work of Africa, for instance, to do the work of, I have to start as an Abriba man, and probably if I'm able to get to do as an Igbo man, if I'm able to even get to do as a Nigerian, but it's a very huge job to say you want to do this kind of work as an African. So you need a whole lot of people from everywhere. So I think photographers owe their communities a lot of service. And a lot of photographers are busy shooting weddings, ignoring the stories of their origins, ignoring important information that the society could benefit from them. So I think I want to inspire most Nigerian photographers to think back and sit back and find out that their cameras have more work to do than they think. Let them go back home and find out what is happening in their streets, what is happening in their villages, and let the cameras document them.
An applause for you, Phillips. I mean, that's such a powerful dream. People like you, like, of course, the likes of Dayo Adedayo.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know very well. They are doing incredible work and helping us to preserve our history. Thank you very much for joining us on Channels Book Club, and well done on your book.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Kunle.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
Such great work the likes of Philip they're doing around the country. Let's get people like this together and just tell the Nigerian story. We have to not just tell our story, we have to preserve those stories, and then, and here's a catch, we've got to sell our stories to the world. That's what the great civilizations have done over the ages. They don't just tell their stories, they don't just preserve their stories, they also sell their stories to the rest of the world. That's why the rest of us buy those stories. We've got our own stories to tell, our own stories to preserve, and our own stories to sell. This is where we have to end the show today. As always, we'll be delighted to get your feedback through any of our social media platforms displayed on your screen. My name is Olakunle Kasumu. Remember, one great book can change your life. Bye-bye.